네, 안녕하십니까. 영어 쉐도잉 163일차 시작해 보겠습니다. 오랜만에 하는데요. 오늘 할 거는 일단 오바마 영상 한번 처음부터 끝까지 한번 보고, 그리고 오늘부터는 이제 글로 쓰는 거 듣고 따라서 쓰는 거 한번 해보겠습니다. 먼저 그냥 한번 보겠습니다. 자막은 가리고요. 자막을 좀 가리고. But at the end of the day, success is real life. What you look like, where you come from, how much money you have, whatever going on at home. None of it is an excuse. There is no excuse for not trying. I've given a lot of speeches about education. I've talked about responsibility a lot. I've talked about teachers' responsibility for inspiring students, pushing you to learn. I've talked about your parents' responsibility for making sure you stay on track. You get your homework done. Don't spend every waking hour in front of the TV or with your Xbox. I talked a lot about your government's responsibility for setting high standards, for supporting teachers and principals, turning around the schools that are working, or students that aren't getting the opportunity that they deserve. But at the end of the day, we can have the most dedicated teachers, most supportive parents, best schools in the world, and none of it will make a difference. None of it will matter unless all of you fulfill your responsibility. Unless you show up to those schools, unless you pay attention to those teachers, unless you listen to your parents, grandparents, and other elders, and put in the hard work it takes to succeed. That's what I want to focus on today. The responsibility each of you has for your education. I want to start with the responsibility to yourself. Every single one of you, single one of you has something that you're good at. Every single one of you has something that offers. You have a responsibility to yourself to discover what that is. That's the opportunity that education can provide. Maybe you could be a great writer. Maybe you're good enough to write a book, articles in a newspaper, but you might not know what. Maybe you could be an innovator, an inventor. Maybe you're good enough to come out with a next iPhone or new medicine or vaccine. But you might not know it until you do a project for your science class. Maybe you could be a mayor or a senator or a Supreme Court justice. But you might not know that until you join student government or the debate team. No matter what you want to do with your life, I guarantee you'll need an education. You'll need a doctor. You want to be a doctor or teacher or police officer. You want to be a nurse, an architect, a lawyer, or member of military. You're gonna need a good education for every single one of those careers. You cannot drop out of school and just drop into a good job. You got to train for it, and work for it, and love for it. This is just important for your own life and your own future. When you make your education, we decide nothing less than the future of this country. The future of America depends on you. While you're learning school today, we're determining whether we as a nation can meet our greatest challenges in the future. You noted the problem starting skills. You learn in science and math to cure diseases like cancer and AIDS, to develop your energy technologies and protect our environment. You need the insights and critical thinking skills you gain in history and social studies to battle poverty and homelessness, climate and discrimination, and make our nation more fair and more free. You need the creativity and ingenuity you develop in all your courses to build your companies, to create new jobs, to boost our economy. We need every single one of you to develop your talents and your intellect and your skills so you can help us solve our different problem. If you don't do that, if you quit on school, you're not just quitting on top. You're three on this country. I know it's I know it's not always good when it's school. When it's school. I know a lot of you have challenges in your lives right now. They can make it hard to focus on your school. I get it. It's important. I get it. I know what it's like. My father left my family when I was 2 years old. I was raised by a single mom who had to work, who struggled at times to keep up with bills. I wasn't able to give us, was always able to give us the things that other kids had. There were times when I missed having a father in my life. There were times when I was lonely and I felt like I didn't fit in. So I was always focused as I should have been at school. Focused as I should have been at school. I did something. I did something on purpose. I got in more trouble than I should have. My life could easily take a turn for the worse. But I was lucky. I got a lot of second chances. I had the opportunity to go to college and law school and follow my dreams. My wife, the First Lady Michelle Obama, she has similar stories. Neither her parents had gone to college. They didn't have a lot of money. They didn't have a lot of money. And they didn't even have a lot of money. They worked hard, she worked hard, so that she could go to the best schools in this country. Some of you might have doesn't better this. Maybe you don't have adults in your life who keep the support in your need. Maybe someone in your family who has lost their job and there's not in the morning or around. Maybe you're in a neighborhood where you don't be safe. Or have friends who are pressured to do things you know are right. But at the end of the day, circumstances of your life, when you look like where you come from, how much money you have, what you're going on at home, none of that is an excuse for you neglecting your homework and having a bad attitude in school. There is no excuse for talking back your teacher, calling class, and dropping out of school. There is no excuse for not trying. For you are right now doesn't have to tell me where you end up. No one's written to your destiny for you. Because here in America, you write your own destiny. You make your own future. That's what young people like you are doing every day all across America. Young people like Jasmine Perez from Roma, Texas. Jasmine did speak English when she first started school. Either her parents had gone to college. But she worked hard and earned a good grade, got a scholarship to Barnes, now in graduate school, studying Bible health, on her way to becoming Dr. Jasmine Perez. I'm thinking about Andoni Schultz, Los Altos, California. He's fought brain cancer since he was 3. He had endured all sorts of treatments and surgeries, one of which affected his memory. So it took him much longer, hundreds of hours, to do his schooling. He never be behind. He headed to college this fall. Then they are contested from my hometown of Chicago, Illinois. It began bouncing from first round to first round in the toughest neighborhood in the city. She managed to get a job at a local health care center, start a program to keep young people out of gangs. Young people out of gangs. And she's on track to graduate high school with honors and go on to college. Jasmine, Domi, Chantel aren't any different from any of you. They face challenges in their lives just like you do. In some cases, they got a lot worse off than many of you. But they refused to, but they chose to take a responsibility for their lives, for their education, and set goals for themselves. I expect all of you to do the same thing. That's why I'm today. That's why. That's why today I'm calling on each of you to set your own goals to your education and do everything you can to beat them. Go whatever you're able to do. I want you to commit it. I want you to really work it. I know that sometimes you get the sense from the tip that you can be rich and successful without any work. You get to ticket to success is through rapping or basketball, being a reality TV star. Chances are you're not gonna be any of those things. The truth is, being successful is hard. You don't love every subject in your study. You won't click with every teacher you have. Every homework assignment will sink completely to relevant to your life at this minute. You won't necessarily succeed at everything the first thing you try. That's okay. Some of the most successful people in the world are the ones who had most failures. J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter. His first Harry Potter was rejected 12 times before he's properly published. Michael Jordan was cut from high school basketball team. He lost hundreds of extra games and missed thousands of shots during his career, but he once said, I have failed and over and over and over again in my life. And that's why I succeeded. These people succeeded because they understood that you can't let your failures define you. You can't have to let your failures teach you. You have to let them show you what to do for the next time. If you get in trouble, that doesn't mean you're a troublemaker. It means you need to try harder to act right. You get a bad grade. Doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means you spend more time studying. No one being good at all things. You become good at things through hard work. And you're not a rusher athlete. The first time you play a sport, you don't hit every note first time you in your
Every note the first time you sing a song, you've got to practice. Play a new sport, you don't hit every note the first time you sing a song. Varsity athlete, the first time you play a new sport,
you don't hit every note
the first time you sing a song.
The first time you sing a song, you've got to practice. The same principle applies to your school. You might have to do a math problem a few times before you get it right. You might have to do a few times. You might have to read something to a few times before you understand it. You definitely have to do a few drafts of paper before you put it up in a day. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be
Don't
afraid
be
to ask
afraid
for help
to
when you need it. I
ask
do
for
that every
help
day.
when you need it. I
Asking
do that
for
every
help
day.
is a sign of
Ask
weakness. It's a
for
sign
help
of
is a sign
strength.
of
Because it shows you have the
weakness.
courage
It's a
to
sign
admit
of
when you don't know
strength.
something. A sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. Because it shows you have the courage to admit when you don't
Because it
know
shows you
something.
have the courage
And
that you need when you don't know something. That then allows you something new.
Find an adult that you
So find the
trust.
adult in your
Parent,
trust.
a
The
grandparent,
parent, or grandparent, teacher, or coach,
counselor,
the counselor,
and ask them to help
and
you
ask them help you stay on track to meet your
Even when
goal.
you're struggling,
Even when you're struggling, even when you're discouraged,
you
you feel like other people have given up on you. Don't ever give up on yourself. Because when you give up on yourself, you give up on yourself. The story of America isn't about the people who keep doing things tougher. It's about people who keep going, who love, keep going, try harder, who love their country too much to do anything less than their best. Anything less than their best. The story of students who said Lucid 250 years ago and went into a rage of revolution and founded this nation. Young people, students who said Lucid 75 years ago, who overcame depression and won a world war, who fought for civil rights, who pro-man of the world. So students who said 20 years ago, founded Google and Twitter and Facebook and changed the way we communicate with each other. So today I want to ask all of you, what's your contribution going to be? What problems are you going to solve? What discoveries will you make? So I expect all of you to get serious this year. I expect you to put your effort to everything you do. I expect great things from each of you. Don't let us down. Don't let your family down or your country down. Most of all, don't let yourself down. Make us all proud. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless you. God bless you, Mike. 네. 네. 오랜만에 하니까 좀 많이 버벅거리네요. 그래서 저번에부터 이제 글로 이제 적기 시작했습니다. 들으면서 일단 저번에 적은 부분이 아직 초반 부분이었어요. 초반 부분이었는데 그 부분부터 한번 찾아 적어봤습니다. 들어보고요. 처음부터. At the end of the day, circumstances of your life, when you look like where you come from, how much money you have, what you've got going on at home, none of that is an excuse. There is no excuse for not trying. I've given a lot of speeches about education. I've talked about responsibility a lot. I've talked about teachers' responsibility for inspiring students and pushing you to learn. I've talked about your parents' responsibility for making sure you're staying on track. You get your homework done. Don't spend every waking hour in front of TV or the Xbox. I've talked a lot about the government's responsibility for setting high standards, supporting teachers and principals, and turning all our schools that are working, where students are getting the opportunities that they deserve. But at the end of the day, We
educated
can have the
teachers,
most
the
getting
most supportive
teachers, the most
parents,
support
the
parents.
best schools
The
in
bomb.
the world.
자, 이 부분 한번 들어볼까요? Where students are getting the opportunities that they deserve. That they deserve.
Where students aren't getting the opportunities that they deserve. But
Where students are getting the opportunities that they deserve. That they deserve. Where students are getting the opportunities that they deserve.
responsibility for setting high
Students,
standards and
support
supporting
teachers
teachers and principals and turning
and
around schools
that
that
are
aren't
working.
working, where students aren't getting the opportunities that they deserve. But
Opportunities that they deserve. Opportunities that they deserve. Opportunities that they deserve. Turning around schools that are working, where students are getting the opportunities that they deserve. Opportunities that they deserve. Opportunities that they deserve. They deserve.
turning around schools that aren't working, where students aren't getting the opportunities that they deserve. But at the end,
Opportunities that they deserve. That they deserve. That they deserve. That they deserve. That they
around
deserve.
schools that aren't working, where students aren't getting the opportunities that they deserve. But at the
They deserve. They deserve. Opportunities that they deserve. Opportunities they deserve. Opportunities they deserve. Opportunities that they deserve. Opportunities they deserve.
around schools that aren't working, where students aren't getting the opportunities that they deserve.
Opportunities that they deserve. Opportunities that they deserve.
At the end of the day,
But at the end
we can have the most dedicated teachers, the most supportive parents, the best schools in the world,
best schools in the
and
world.
none of it
will
make a
make a
difference.
difference.
None of it will
None of
matter
it will matter
unless all of you fulfill your responsibility. Unless you show up to those schools, unless you pay attention to those teachers, unless you listen to your parents and grandparents and other adults,
and put in the hard work it
takes
takes
to
to succeed.
That's what I want to
That's
focus
what I
on
want
today.
to focus on today. The responsibility each of you has for your education. I want to start with the responsibility you have to
Every
yourself.
single one of
Every
you
single one of
has
you
something that you're
has
good at.
something that you're
Every
good at.
single
Every single one of you has something to offer.
You have a
And you have a
responsibility
responsibility to
to
yourself
yourself
to discover what that is. That's the opportunity that education can provide.
Maybe you could be
a great writer.
Maybe even good
You
enough
have
to
to-
write a book.
자, 여기부터 하면 되죠. 네. Maybe 들어볼까?
Maybe you could be
Great
a great
writer.
writer. Maybe even good enough to write a book.
Maybe even good enough to write a book. Maybe even good enough to write a book. Maybe good enough to write a book.
Articles in a newspaper, but you
Or articles in newspaper. Or articles in a newspaper. In a
writer. Maybe even good enough to write a book. Articles in a newspaper, but you might
You're
maybe even good enough to write a book. Articles in a newspaper, but you
articles in newspaper. Articles in newspaper. Newspaper. Maybe even good enough to write a book or articles in newspaper.
writer. Maybe even good enough to write a book.
Maybe you're 있었네요. Maybe you're 뭔가 동사 없다.
Maybe you could be
Great
a great
writer.
writer. Maybe even good enough to write a book. Articles in a
Articles in newspaper. Maybe even good enough to write a book. 빠졌네요. maybe good enough to write a book or articles in newspaper.
but you might not know it. Maybe you could be
But you might not know it. But you might not know it. Maybe even good enough to write a book or articles in newspaper. But you might not know it. You
write a
might not
book.
know it.
articles in
It's
a newspaper, but you might not know it. Maybe you could be
Maybe
an
you could be
innovator
an
or an
innovator,
inventor.
Maybe you could be. Maybe you could be.
Be even good enough to, but you might not know it. Maybe you could be an innovator or an inventor.
Maybe you could be an innovator. Innovator. Or an inventor. Or inventor.
Articles newspaper, but you might not know it. Maybe you could be an innovator or an inventor.
Maybe you could be an innovator or inventor.
Articles in a newspaper, but you might not know it. Maybe you could be an innovator or an inventor. Maybe even good enough to come up.
Maybe even good enough to come up. Maybe even good enough to come up with
With the next iPhone or the you could be an innovator or an inventor. Maybe even good enough to come up with the next iPhone or the new medicine.
with the next iPhone or with the next iPhone or iPhone iPhone or
Innovator or an inventor. Maybe even good enough to come up with the next iPhone or the new medicine or vaccine.
New medicine or vaccine. New medicine or vaccine. Vaccine.
But you might not know it until you do your project for your son.
But you might not know it. But you might not know it until you
Medicine or vaccine. But you
might
might not
know
know
it
it until you do your project for your science class.
until you do your project. Until you
But you
might
might not know it until you do your project for your science class.
until you do your project for your science class for your science class. 정답 확인. But you might not know it until you do a project for your science class. Do a project.
But you might not know it until you do your project for your science class.
Until you do your인데 조금 다르네요. 여기 사람이 한 거랑. Until you do your project for your science class.
Maybe you could be
a mayor
or a senator or a Supreme Court justice.
Maybe you could be a mayor or senator or a senator.
But you could be a mayor or a senator
or
or a Supreme Court justice.
Or a Supreme Court justice or a Supreme Court justice. 대법관 justice.
But you might not know that until you join student government.
But you might not know that until you join a student government until you join a
or a Supreme Court justice.
justice.
But you might not know that until you join student government.
Join student government.
Or the debate team.
Or the debate team. Or the debate team.
But you might not know that until you join student government or the debate team. And no matter what you want to do with your life.
No matter what you want to do with your life.
I guarantee
I
that you'll need an education to do it.
You'll need an education to do it. I guarantee then you'll need an education to do it. guarantee가 절정으로.
And no matter what you want to do with your life, I guarantee that you'll need
guarantee then you'll need an education to do it.
or the debate team. And no matter what you want to do with your life, I guarantee that you'll need an education to do it.
then you need an education degree. I guarantee then you need an education degree. That you need an education degree. I guarantee then you need an education degree. No matter what you want to do with your life, I guarantee then you need an education degree.
You want to be a doctor
You
or
wanna
a
be
teacher
a
or a
teacher, or you wanna be a doctor. You you job. You wanna be a doctor or a teacher or a police.
I guarantee that you'll need an education to
Then
do
you
it.
need an
You want to be a
education. You
doctor
wanna be
or a teacher or a police officer.
or a police officer, a police officer.
You want to be a nurse or an architect.
You wanna be a nurse or architect. You wanna be a nurse or architect. Architect.
A lawyer or a member of our military.
Nurse or architect. Architect. Nurse or architect. A lawyer. Lawyer. Member of our military. Military.
I know that sometimes you get that sense
그렇지.
until you do an architect. You want to be a doctor or a
Doctor,
teacher or a police
police
officer.
officer.
You want to be a
You
nurse or an
nurse or
architect.
architect,
A lawyer or a member of our military.
A member or a member of military. Member of our
Police officer. You want to be a nurse or an architect. A lawyer or a member of our military.
member of our military.
You're going to need a good education for every single one.
You're gonna need 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 you're gonna need
Lawyer or a member of our military. You're going to need a good education for every single.
you're gonna need a good education for every single
One of those careers.
one of those careers. Every single one of those careers. One of those careers. You're gonna need a good education for every single one of those careers.
You're going to need a good education for every single one of those careers.
You're gonna need a good education for every single one of those careers. Every single one of careers.
You cannot drop out of school and just drop into a good job.
You cannot just drop out of school. You cannot drop out of school. You cannot drop out of school. You cannot drop out of school and just drop into a good job.
Those careers. You cannot drop out of school and just drop into a good job.
You cannot drop out of school, drop out of school.
One of those careers. You cannot drop out of school and
Drop out of school and just
drop into a good job.
drop into a good job.
You've got to train for it and work for it.
You got to train for it. You got to train for it. You got to train for it and work for it and
Learn for it. You've got to train for it and work for it and learn for it.
learn for it and learn for it. You got to train for it. and write for it, and learn for it.
And this isn't just important for your own life and your own future.
This isn't just important for your own life and your own future. This is this isn't just important for your own life and your own future. This isn't just important for your own life and your own future.
For it and learn for it.
Right.
And this isn't just important for your own life and your own
important.
and work for it and learn for it. And this isn't just important for your own life and your own future.
And this isn't and this is and this isn't just important for your own life and your own future.
What you make of your education will decide nothing less than the future of this country.
When you make up when you make up your
What you make of your education will
when
decide
you make up your education will decide when you make up your
And
education.
this isn't just important for your own life and your own future. What you make of your education will decide nothing
decide
less
nothing
than the
less
future
than
of
the
this
future of
country.
we decide nothing less than the future of this country.
What you make of your education will decide nothing less than the future of this country.
이것의 이상을 nothing less 적지 않은 이상 게 이상인 건가? When you make up your education will decide nothing less than the future of this country. When you make up your education will decide nothing less than the future of this country.
The future of America depends on you.
The future of America depends on you. The future of America.
What you're learning in school of this country. The future of America depends on you.
The future of America depends on you.
What you're learning in school today will determine whether we as a nation can
When you're learning in school today, when you're learning in school today,
depends on you. What you're learning in school today
what
will
you're learning on school today,
determine what the future of America
what
depends
you're
on you.
what
What you're
you're
learning in
school
school today will determine whether
will
we
determine
as a
whether
nation
we
can meet
will determine whether we as a as a nation can meet our
greatest challenges in the future.
Can meet our greatest challenges in the future. What you are learning in school today will determine whether we as a nation can meet our greatest challenges in the future.
You'll need whether we as a nation can meet our greatest challenges in the future.
Greatest challenges in the future.
You'll determine whether we, the future of America,
The future of America
depends on you. What you're
When you're
learning in
learning
school today will
When you're learning in school today will
determine whether we
as
as
a
a
nation
nation
can meet our
greatest challenges in the future.
greatest challenges in the future.
You'll need the knowledge and problem-solving skills
You'll need the knowledge and problem solving skills. You'll need the knowledge. You'll need the knowledge and problem solving skills.
you learn in science and math in the future. You'll need the knowledge
skills
and
and
problem-solving
skills
skills you learn in science and math
you're learning science and math. You're learning science and math. You're learning science and math
to cure diseases
to cure
like cancer
diseases
and
like
AIDS.
cancer and AIDS. To cure diseases. Like cancer and AIDS.
And to develop new energy technologies.
And to develop and to develop
protect our environment, to cure diseases like cancer and AIDS, and to develop new energy technologies.
New energy technologies.
Protect our environment. You'll use like cancer and AIDS, and to develop new energy
And develop
technologies
new
to
energy
protect our environment.
And protect our environment.
You'll need whether the future of America
Depends on
depends on you. What you're learning in school today will determine whether we as a nation can meet our greatest challenges in the future. You'll need the knowledge and problem-solving skills.
You'll need the knowledge. You'll need the knowledge and problem-solving skills. You learn in science and math.
You learn in science and math to cure diseases like cancer and
to cure diseases.
AIDS. And to develop new energy technologies to protect our environment. You'll need the insights and criticals. And to develop new energy technologies to protect our environment.
To develop new energy technologies and protect our environment. Protect our environment.
You'll need the insights and critical thinking skills.
You'll need the insight and critical thinking skills. 여기까지겠다. 네, 오늘은 여기까지 했습니다. 자, 내일 또 나머지 한번